chances are slim that you agree with him. It's Rhyme and Reason 906.
Here's your rhyme and reason. Oh, yeah.
Hey there, Tony here. Yeah, slim and none. Those are the probable answers to the question. But naturally, that begs the question, and at least one version of the question would be, what are the odds that everything happens for a reason? And I'd say chances are also slim and none that people who believe everything happens for a reason would agree with Jesus on that. Uh-oh, I done went and done it that time. So before I move on, I'd like to know if you agree with this. Chances are slim and or none that God didn't author the Bible. Do you agree with that? My assertion on that statement is the chances are none. God did author the Bible. But I'll play the Lord's advocate, because I prefer never to advocate for the devil, and assume not everyone agrees with me. I think that's safe. If that's you, bear with me as I blast out some info that maybe you haven't considered before. And this info doesn't come from some marketer. It's not from some metaphysicalized so-called pastor or minister. This word that affirms accidental circumstances comes right out of the Bible in at least 3 different places. Actually 4 places, and maybe even 5. But I don't want you to start with the first place it's found in case you're the type who's easily confused. So, are you ready for that affirmation word? Are you sure? Are you positive? Because this gets kind of complicated and it triggers some people. Okay, if you're still listening, I think it means your mind is fortified and you're ready to hear some truth. So, here's the word that affirms accidental circumstances. The word is chance. Bam! Oh yeah, that word is in the Bible. 4 times when you do a search in the New King James Version. And are you ready for the high-octane spirit chaser? One of the times the word chance is used, it's in red. Bam! Again. For the uninitiated, red letters mean those words were spoken by Jesus. Anyway, the reason I brought all this up is because I see literally every day Christians debating whether or not everything happens because God ordained everything. And anyone who says he does has not yet comprehended the book he wrote, because he's infinitely creative, meaning his creative abilities have no end, and he's infinitely brilliant, meaning he knows how to create worlds and beings that don't require him for day-to-day operations. So that means God designed you to be able to think for yourself and decide for yourself. And that is why there is so much evil and horror in the world. Because there seems to be no depth of depravity that human beings aren't willing to go. They'll go deeper and deeper into it. People have done things to each other so horribly wicked that it never entered God's mind they would do those things. No, it didn't enter his mind. You say he's omniscient, he knows everything? He says it never entered his mind. God said that. But you do have to believe that the Bible is the book that he wrote and inspired men to write down. You do have to believe that. I get it. But if you believe that, he's the one who said it never entered his mind some of the things we humans have done. Sure, God knows everything knowable and everything he wants to know. But do you think for a moment that God, for eternity past, had any thoughts of burning children on altars to sacrifice them to Baal, to the devil? No, that's not his nature. It's ours. Okay, I just had to get that out there for your consideration. And I know chances are slim that everyone will agree with me. And chances are very slim that much of anybody's going to agree with me. But I also know there's a chance somebody's mind could be changed. And it's that notion that motivates me to share the info.
Everything is for a reason. God is in control. Everything he turns to good for his higher goal. So do you want to thank him for destruction and despair? Is he the author of confusion? You see it everywhere. No, 1,000 times no, 1,000 times no, 1,000 times no, 1,000 tells you so. But what if someone's unrepentant? How does that one go? Should they get to live in sin and skip the judgment day? Take a look at the Revelation. What would Jesus say? No, no, 1,000 times no. No, no, 1,000 times no. No, 1,000 times no. No, no, 1,000 times no. No. No.
And who are you to judge? Your eyes can clearly see that you're no holier than him or her or me. So should you shut your mouth and skip the words of Paul? Did he misunderstand the Lord's enduring call? No, no, 1,000 times no. No, no, 1,000 times no. No, 1,000 times no. No, no, 1,000 times no. No, 1,000 times no. No, no, 1,000 times no. No, 1,000 times no. No, no, 1,000 times no. No.
Now here's a little outro rhyme of chance. Will the sun rise in the morning? Will the temperature be hot? And will skies be blue and sunny? Well, maybe, maybe not. Will the songbirds all be singing? Will the breezes blow a lot? And will leaves lift up their laughter? Well, maybe, maybe not. Will some words of wisdom visit? Will the books all have a plot? And will we read some happy stories? Well, maybe, maybe not. Will the world go on forever? Will the getting all be got? And will we all be nice to others? Well, maybe, maybe not. That does it for this episode of the Rhyme and Reason Podcast, number 906. If you haven't already, you can support the show by supporting the sponsor, and the sponsor is TonyFunderburk.com. Go over there right away, drop your email in there, and I'll send you some goodies, some free music and words, and who knows, some other bonuses perhaps, right away. Thanks for tuning into this episode, and until next time, remember, life has rhyme and reason because God made you.
There's a rhyme and